Hello, roller coaster gamers. Back with another versus video, and today I'm putting up the two Gerstlauer Eurofighters I have ridden. This is Mystery Mine at Dollywood and Daredevil Dive at Six Flags over Georgia. Now, both of these rides are fun. They're not my favorite roller coasters ever, but they're still good rides. So we're gonna get into this, starting with the stats. Mystery Mine has a height of 85 feet, speed of 44 miles per hour, length is 1,805 feet of track. The duration is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and it has two inversions. Daredevil Dive has a height of 95 feet, 52 miles, goes 52 miles per hour, top speed. It has a track length of 2,099 feet, and I found no official duration for the ride. Again, I look at Roller Coaster Database to get the information on this, and it features three inversions. So based on stats, it's Daredevil Dive is definitely superior. Has a bit longer track, faster top speed, and it's a bit taller. But the inversions aren't necessarily statistical. I just put that in there. But I'm pretty sure Mystery Mine is longer because it has two lift hills, and it's a bit slower. So I think that Mystery Mine would have a longer duration. At least it feels like Mystery Mine definitely feels like a longer ride than Daredevil Dive. But so overall, Daredevil Dive wins in stats. Okay, here we go to the elements. Mystery Mine features two vertical lift hills, two beyond vertical drops, and indoor sections with theming, banked turns, and some mid-course brake runs. There's like 2 or 3 on it. A heart, line roll, and dive loop, and several random dips. And Daredevil Dive has a vertical lift hill at the beginning of the ride. Most Eurofighters are like Daredevil Dive with just one vertical lift hill, and it has a beyond vertical drop, a dive loop Immelman, and heartline roll. And the Immelman is kind of shaped weird. It almost looks like it doesn't go upside down, but it does. It's just it's barely an inversion. It barely feels like it goes upside down, but it is an Immelman, so it kind of has an inversion. And it has a heartline roll. That's the best element. I think that's the best inversion on Daredevil Dive. The best inversion on Mystery Mine is the dive loop, because on Daredevil Dive you go through the heartline roll a little slowly, and you get a little bit of hang time. But on Mystery Mine, I feel like, because even though Daredevil Dive has lap bars, this is the thing. Mystery Mine has over shoulder strengths. I do prefer Daredevil Dive's restraints because it's a bit more comfortable. But the way Mystery Mine's over the shoulder strengths is that they're tighter on your waist, but they're a lot looser around your shoulders. So when it comes to that dive loop, you really just hang out of your seat, and it's one of the best single air hang time moments on a coaster I've been on. Of course, like rides like Copperhead Strike have the most hang time I've experienced, but I think Mystery Mine has one of my favorite hang time moments. It has Daredevil Dive has a mid course brake run. It has this cool turn that it does right after the dive loop, where it acts like it turns and it acts like it's gonna be an overbank turn, but when you get to the top, it kind of levels out a bit and then banks again. So I think that's a really cool element, and it has a shed and some cardboard cutouts and some like cheap theming. Several bank turns and stuff. So Mystery Mine definitely has way better theming. Mystery Mine is definitely one of the most themed coasters at Dollywood. You have two main indoor sections. You have the one at the very beginning where you have some crow. You hear like crows and stuff and buzzards, and you hear like some music and stuff. And then the second, and then you go up that first vertical lift hill. You go outside of the ride, and then you go through the elements and stuff. And then you have another indoor section where after you're done with that first outdoor section, which it takes up like most of the ride, I think, you enter back into the building. You go up the second vertical lift hill, and it has a cool effect at the top, like a screen of this thing falling over, and then it like explodes, and then you get to the top, and there's like these flame effects and everything, and it's really awesome. And then, of course, right after that, you go through your main beyond vertical drop. There's two. There's one that I'll get into it when I get to the images, but the thing with Mystery Mine, the main problem I have is that because it has a shoulder train stand, I think it's just because of the turns. Because it's so the turns are so sudden and they're really snappy, and there is some head banging on Mystery Mine. Daredevil Dive is one of the smoothest coaster I've ridden. No rattle, no shakiness. It's so smooth. It's so quiet. If you're at Six Flags, it's the quietest ride in the park. Like you have rides like Batman and Georgia Scorcher that have loud roars, like loud roars. Daredevil Dive is so quiet, and when you're on it, it's like it feels so breezy and it's so smooth. So Daredevil Dive is definitely smoother, and I think overall it has better inversions because it has a bit more. But I think that Mystery Mine has the single best inversion. That the ending of Mystery Mine is awesome. The ending of Mystery Mine is better than the ending of Daredevil Dive, except for Daredevil Dive's in Heartline Roll, but the rest of it's just a bunch of turns and stuff. Mystery Mine's like most of the ride is just has some dips, has one whippy drop, and has some turns and stuff. But the highlight is definitely that second lift hill, that second beyond vertical drop, and the two inversions. And that dive loop is awesome. Unfortunately, right after that dive loop, you go right into the brakes, and it kind of like slams you. It's a kind of abrupt stop because you're going from really high, and then you just go into the brakes. So we're gonna go into images, and I'm gonna point out some things. So here on Mystery Mine, you have the names of the two coasters. Mystery Mine, you have it on the outside of the building as you're walking down the pathway. Daredevil Dive has it on the structure of the vertical lift hill and is actually right above the actual entrance. You enter under it, under the sign. Here on Mystery Mine, you have the flame effect after the second lift hill, right before you go through that drop. You have some of these turns and stuff. And a lot of these are very sudden and really small, so they can kind of be jerky a little bit. And here's what the trains look like on Mystery Mine. It's upside down, but obviously on Daredevil Dive it has lap bars. This has over the shoulder trains, and Daredevil Dive, they both have terrible capacity. They have terrible capacity. Mystery Mine only has 8 people per train, and Daredevil Dive only has 6 people per train. So Daredevil Dive is a little bit worse in terms of capacity, but I think I like the seating still. I like the lap bars and everything, but it just has less seats. But they both are not very good at capacity, so Mystery Mine gets a decent line, and Daredevil Dive usually always has the longest wait time in the park at Six Flags. It has one of the longest lines of the park, and because of the capacity, it's a major issue. And I'm sure when they had the VR, when they had the VR on it back in like what was it, 2016 or something. Yeah, the line was so long. It was so long. It was so bad. We never the first I didn't ride it that whole year. That year, so I think Mystery Mine definitely has better theming. I mean, for Six Flags, Daredevil Dive isn't too bad. I mean, there's some cardboard cutouts. There's a shed and stuff. There's some detail, but not that much. Mystery Mine is awesome. Has awesome theming. One of the best themed rides at Dollywood, which Dollywood is a big theme park. So Mystery Mine just doesn't have the best elements, except for that ending, that second vertical lift hill, the second, and that drop you have, and the two inversions are really awesome. It's one of the best endings to a coaster. Unfortunately, the rest of it is just kind of meh. But Daredevil Dive, I think Mystery Mine is actually more intense than Daredevil Dive. I think it's because of the theming and that ending. But Daredevil Dive, it feels like you're kind of gliding around. It's so smooth you don't feel very much. You're just kind of going around the inversions, not really feeling much. And it's just like a nice ride. the most intense parts are probably be the heartline roll and maybe like the drop. And I actually like Daredevil Dive's lift hill a little bit better than Mystery Mines, because Mystery Mines are, even though they have theming around them, they're really short and they don't last very long. In Daredevil Dive, you have lap bars, you feel free, you feel like you could fall out of the train backwards. It's really cool, and I like the Beyond Vertical Drop. It lasts a bit longer, so I think in the end, because even though Daredevil Dive is smoother, has like more inversions, and is a bit taller and faster, I think Mystery Mine has like a lot of like quality, even though it's not the smoothest ride and the transitions aren't the best. But the theming is outstanding and the ending is awesome. So I think for this versus video, Mystery Mine takes the win. So if you enjoyed this versus video, everyone, and I might do more. I think tomorrow I want to do a gaming video, or like I want to do another roller coaster trivia, like today, or I mean tomorrow or Saturday. So I mean tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow or Friday I will do a roller coaster trivia. So hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.